Everybody, we will be checking the chat box should you have any further questions. Type them in and we will get back to you on email. I think you'll agree the presentation was incredible. It gives us great delight now to introduce to you all our chairman and founder, Mr. Graeme Clegg. You're on mute, Graeme.
Well, thank you, Dr. Webster. That was certainly very, very interesting and informative. And I know that lay people will have some difficulties in following some of those technical terms, and I can understand that. But I think you covered it in a way that it was possible to understand that there is a lot of science behind what Dr. Webster was saying. That's important. You don't have to be a doctor or a professor to go and make decisions or to share with other people. As long as you know that everything is scientifically backed. And we have just established an innovation laboratory to do a lot more of this work. And we're putting a very big investment into this particular area. Dr. Jill talked about monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies, and people hear these big words and they don't have any idea. But to keep it simple, a monoclonal antibody is chemically produced in a laboratory. I call it a Frankenstein antibody, which is a good descriptive term, where the Mother Nature has got a much more complex antibody, and that's what we're using in our colostrum products. So also what came up in a presentation was the Institute of Colostrum Research, ICR, and that is sponsored by New Image, and that is a global source of information on colostrum. So that's a good website to go and have a look at areas of the new technology and new science. So as you can see, common sense says instead of reacting to disease, let's be proactive with a healthy lifestyle. That's the New Image philosophy. We know that it reduces risk and it can prevent the challenges from occurring. So we must stop treating the symptoms rather than the cause. I repeat, we must stop treating the symptoms rather than the cause. So we've got to rethink COVID-19. It's a syndemic rather than a pandemic. A syndemic is the aggregation of two or more concurrent or sequential epidemics or disease clusters in the population. It is a new terminology. And the Lancet, the British Medical Journal, recently released a major report, and it said the global syndemic of obesity, undernutrition, and climate change. There's 3 sequential clusters. We can add to that a lot of other things which we're struggling today. It's fueled by pre-epidemic health conditions that are out there. It's a wake-up call to the public health systems, along with politicians and citizens, because people are so confused. There's so much conflicting information out there. Nobody knows what direction to go in. So what we're looking at, a situation that COVID-19 was predictable and it was preventable and it hasn't been handled well. So when we're looking at all of the causes of dysfunctional immune system, we're looking at obesity, diabetes, poor diet, diseases, pollution, inflammation, and they've all eroded the effectiveness of the defensive mechanisms in our immune system. Everybody, this is keeping it very, very simple. It's keeping it very logical. It's a good starting point when you're in discussions with people that are asking for help, that don't know what direction to go in to protect themselves. So we're more vulnerable to disease today than at any other time in the history of mankind. So I'd just like to close on introducing a new dimension for healthcare. It's called non-pharmaceutical intervention. We know that there are a lot of intervention systems in this particular area, but why does everything that we're focusing on have to be pharmaceutical? You see, we focus on prevention, and this is what NPI does, and you're going to see a lot more of it. There's other like-minded people that are looking at natural treatment, traditional treatments that are out there, and nutritional support, which is very, very effective and proven scientifically. So our philosophy is to reinforce and fully optimize the human immune system. See, what Dr. Webster was talking about was not just the antibodies on their own, but that whole smorgasbord of multitudes of natural defense mechanisms which Mother Nature has provided for all mammals in colostrum. So we believe that the power that created the body can heal the body. It's pretty hard to argue against Mother Nature. So colostrum is a gift of protection. Colostrum is a gift of life. Colostrum has so many powerful attributes that just in one session, you can't describe them all. So this is just a quick view of our nutraceutical manufacturing site, and we own 5.7 hectares of land, big commitment in manufacture to ensure quality. Why quality is important? Because I'm taking the products personally as well, and I take the same products as you do. So last slide is all about understanding nature's bodyguards. I reckon that's very, very good terminology, because if you've got an asset, you're going to protect it. If your asset's your home, you put locks on the doors and the windows, and you put a security system in, an alarm system and cameras, because you don't want any undesirables attacking your greatest asset. The body's the same. The skin is the first organ that's going to stop invaders and pathogens from getting into our body. So it's all driven by the immune system, and we're looking at Immune Fort, which is a very high concentration, up to 40% of antibodies in there. And the latest one we've brought out is Viranox. Now, let me tell you how powerful Viranox is. We've estimated that Viranox has over 1 billion antibodies in every tablet. I mean, just think of the army of protection that's available in every tablet that's out there. And so what we're looking and having great difficulty breaking down the protection of the establishment is getting clinical trials in hospitals with some COVID patients, but we're working hard at it. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the sharing of knowledge today, trying to break it down into understandable formats, because it's very complex. There's no question about that. And I hope that that's enabled you to have confidence to not only understand what benefit it can do to you, but how you can benefit other people. Because the world's facing a humanitarian crisis out there more than a commercial one. And it's the humanitarian aspect that's driving our marketing system and the hundreds of thousands of members that we have all around the world that are talking about colostrum. Because we've got a big task. All of the ancient secrets that were understood by every civilization thousands of years ago about colostrum have been suppressed, and we're bringing them back again into the public arena. So everybody, appreciate you sharing that with us and sharing the cause that we've got out there. So that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you, everybody. And once again, thank you, Dr. Webster. I know that you captured the imagination of all of the Indonesian government and health authorities when you did that presentation to them. And I think that it gives everybody an idea of the credibility when we've got people of this stature listening to what we're out there sharing the world. So once again, thank you. If it's a new day, I wish you well. If it's an evening, I wish you good night. Everybody, good health. God bless.